4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious. That's what the facts show.
Okay, you know what?
No, that's not because I watch CNN.
We think you're all nuts. We're just watching from afar and just enjoying the show.
Welcome back to the DeVory Darkin Show, and in this video we're going to watch this clown by the name of Don Lemon embarrass himself because by going out there and doing street interviews and getting answers he probably wasn't expecting, which leads us to the overall arching message of this election that most people know what it is. They were better under President Trump than they were in the Biden administration, and Kamala Harris absolutely deserves blame for that. She was the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act. We all know this, and so do people on the streets. They may not know everything about politics, but they do know this. They were better off under Trump than they were this current administration. So this brings us to this clown. He's doing street interviews, and let's just say I think it's entertainment. Let's take a look.
Kamala Harris all day long.
It's gonna be my second time voting, so I'm ready for it.
I'm going for Trump.
I'm excited for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
I don't feel like comfortable with the candidates.
I think Trump's gonna win.
I feel like it's leaning towards Trump for sure.
It sucks because I don't know what's going on. The world is a mess.
Oh, not very good, I guess. I don't really like either candidate.
I'm just trying to keep my hopes up here. We're kind of in despair.
Yeah. I'm a little hopeful. I'm hoping that things go in a positive direction for change.
I wish we had two new candidates.
We're going to have a first woman president or we're going to have Trump back in office, so it's going to be changed either way.
Yeah, that is a great point, but I think she's wrong. If Kamala Harris doesn't get fired, she's going to repeat the same thing that Biden was doing, but just worse, because the damage has already been done, which is why they're so disingenuous when they say, oh, well, you know, the boarding crossings are lower than it was under Trump. Do you know how much damage you guys have already done when it comes to the border? Doesn't make any sense.
Trump or Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump.
I don't vote.
Have to go Trump, man. Yeah. I have to. Yeah, Trump. I got to go Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. No comment.
I'm running for Trump, so
I'm supporting Trump.
Kamala is doing a great job.
Kamala. But I'm probably not going to vote.
It's like they just pushed her in.
Now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person.
I would vote for
Trump.
I do.
Kamala Harris.
What about you?
The black lady.
Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high.
Facts.
I'm going for Trump.
My first time voting was 2020. I think I wrote my name or someone else in.
With exactly what he said, you know, he has the intellectual side of it.
Yeah, you see, it's interesting. Everybody knows what's going on here. That gas and groceries, inflation has absolutely disrupted people's lifestyle. And they're not going to forget that when it comes down to voting. Now, this leads us to another issue for my viewers out there who have subscribed to my channel. Are you registered to vote? Because if you're not, what are you waiting on? Register. All you have to do is go to vote.org, vote.org, and register.
We're here in Jersey, Atlantic City. Who do you support?
I plead the fifth.
Trump for the win.
Tell me why.
I can't really call that right now, but I just feel like she's not good for president. She's good vice, but not for the actual lead role for the country.
Does it have anything to do with being a woman?
No.
What type of question is that?
No, because I feel like women, nah, you're not going to give me that.
Your money's on Harris.
Yeah,
Who do you want?
Trump.
Why don't you like Harris?
She doesn't have any experience.
She's the vice president. She's a senator.
Yeah, no experience. No. She had no experience.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I just feel we need somebody that has a stronger background with the military and the world in general.
She was a prosecutor and an attorney general and a senator.
What does that mean? It doesn't matter if she's a prosecutor or attorney general, because look at what she left behind. I mean, nothing in her record is something to write home about. There's nothing in her record to say, hey, we celebrate this. I mean, even Joe Biden had something in his record, the crime bill. I mean, he had something that he could say, hey, I was behind this moment in time. Now, whether it was good or bad, that's a whole nother video. But the point was, he had something. She doesn't have anything.
And the vice president. You're in a gambling town. Who's your money on?
I'm going to support the Democratic Party, but, I mean, Trump looked like he got it in the bag right now.
4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows.
Yeah, you see, this is what they do. Anyone who works for the liberal media, they can't help but try to correct people. Just let the man have his opinion and let him go about his day. But you have to interrupt him. It's so predictable.
Not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious.
What?
That's what the facts
Watch
show.
CNN?
Okay, you know what?
No, that's not because I watch CNN.
This is why the Democrats will lose, because of that gaslighting right there. Oh, no, the economy is doing better. Bro, just because on a sheet of paper it says the economy is doing better, that doesn't mean everyday Americans, when they wake up in the morning, feel like the economy is doing better. Their perception is their reality. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Trump.
That's who's going to win.
That's who's going to win.
Who you support?
I support Trump. All the people that came to this country legally, it's not fair that they're letting all 10,000 to 15,000 people or 20,000 people here illegally. Have you seen San Diego? Yeah. They're coming off the boats, off the water right here, off the ocean. Did you know Biden was flying them in? Did you know Biden was flying them in? You didn't know that?
What do you Canadians think about what's going on here?
We think you're all nuts. We're just watching from afar and just enjoying the show.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that Americans are nuts, but hey, we can't hear that from a Canadian. What they got going on over there is absolutely nuts on a whole nother level. Anyways, so Don Lemon, he's going around asking people these questions, and, we're getting the answers that we expect to hear, that most people are going to be for Trump. You're going to have people for Kamala Harris because they're not going to do any research. They're not going to look at her record, and they truly are only voting for her because she's a woman or a person of color. That's really what it is for them. But not everybody thinks that way, which leads to this interview that Fox News did with people who live in Chicago about this election. Let's take a look at that.
Pastor, you got the DNC that is here this week. How do you feel about that?
It's kind of bittersweet. I'm glad for the city of Chicago that we get to host a major convention. The bitter part of it is that I don't agree with any of the principles. And so the policies that they use doesn't been after our community.
What do you think is the number one issue facing Chicago right now?
Well, definitely the number one issue is the violence in Chicago, the gun violence.
The economy is a big question mark, You go to the grocery store, eggs, bread, just small items are large in price now.
I think for my congregation and for others, it's kind of changing a little bit because so many people don't agree with the policies. And so I think there's definitely growth in my church as far as being more independent in their thinking. I see that throughout the community as well.
I believe the conservative principles are much better for us as a nation and for us as a people.
Yeah, he makes a phenomenal point. Conservative principles are more beneficial to our nation and for communities than liberal principles. That doesn't mean we need to be extreme in our conservative values. Even if we were just moderately conservative with our policies, with everything that is governing this country would be better off. Because we're seeing what happens when you bend your knee to progressive policies. The outcomes are not working. It's creating more divisiveness in this country. We are absolutely disrupting the natural development of children. We obviously have this high inflation that has decimated the middle class. And we have our foreign adversaries thinking that they could get away with doing anything that they want to do. So I think, conservative values should be the answer.
But she doesn't give a fuck. Because where was she at in these past 4 years and she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not
Can
done
you
shit.
say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president.
Can we
That's
say what she has done?
Let's go, Trump.
And I am going to stand on Trump, and I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers. But I have done my own research, and Trump has done a lot for us, more than what the media tries to portray. They're getting all our favorite rappers. They're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain, because they think that that's going to make us vote for them. And that's not.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote. And I'm going to stand on that. Twerking
did not get my vote.
Meg Thee Stallion. First off, the song that she was even saying is very ignorant. And let me just say one thing. Chicago's trying to clean up all the streets so they can have Kamala come into town. Like, we don't have a lot of killing out here. Like, all of these streets right now on Michigan Avenue are not safe. Let's talk about that. But you guys want to clean that up. You want to board buildings up. You want to board businesses up when Kamala comes into town to make it act like Chicago is safe, and it's not.
And do you think there's anything that makes Kamala qualified to become the next president?
I don't think anything, because things that made her qualified when she was a prosecutor that had evidence to get people off of death row, she didn't give a fuck about it.
And as I wrap up this video, I want to leave you guys with this. If you left your house right now and you did street interviews, you're going to hear the same thing. You're going to hear a group of people voting for Kamala Harris. They don't have a policy reason to. It's more of an emotional reason. She's a woman, she's a person of color, and they emotionally hate Trump. That's what you're going to find. And then you're going to find a lot of people on both sides who are going to say, yeah, this economy is not good. And it was better under Trump. Right? And you're going to have people who don't even care that Trump is nice or mean, or they don't even care about his personality. They care what they're going to get from him that they got when he was the president. So this is what's going on around the nation, especially in these swing states. And it's just a mistake, I believe, on the behalf of the Kamala Harris campaign, that she has not done any press conferences or real questioning, especially to warm up before the debate takes place and to speak to these swing voters. Now, I don't run campaigns, so I'm sure they know what they're doing. But I would say that clearly it hasn't worked, because if it did, you'd have people saying, I'm truly committed to Kamala Harris because of this policy, this policy, this policy. That's not what you're hearing. You're hearing they are committed to Trump because they know what they are going to get. And obviously, as many street interviews as Don Lemon can do, it isn't going to change the fact that he also is a clown. He pushes a lot of propaganda. Everything to him is about race and gender and all these crazy terms that these progressive woke individuals buy into, which is why they are where they are today in their life. But I have to be honest with you, it's entertaining seeing people respond that way to Clown Lemon. Let's call him that. Moving forward. That's my mindset. What about you? What do you guys think about these interviews that he was doing on the street? What do you think about people's responses? What do you think about what you heard from people who live in Chicago about how crime is crazy and that they really don't like the fact that the DNC is here because of the policies that the Democratic Party represents? I want to hear what your answers are and more in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out the video today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true. Peace.